Erin Spinagle here today at Back Creek Valley Elementary. Join me today as we learn about some of the teachers here at the home of the Appleseeds on this edition of Be the Difference, West Virginia. We're here with Julaine Fund. She teaches second grade here at Back Creek Valley Elementary. Hey Julaine, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Well,
Good.
tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm originally from Ohio. I've been teaching, this will be my 25th year. I've taught transitional first, second grade, and a 2-3 split. I have a bachelor's K-8, reading specialist, and national board certified.
What made you decide to become a teacher?
I'm sure just like everybody, there's always a teacher that you make a connection with, and it was my first grade teacher. And she was amazing. She did stations before stations were cool. While everybody else was sitting in rows, she did stations. She let us pick the name of the stations, and she made learning come alive. And also, I had another incident in 4th grade with my 4th grade teacher. She did a peer tutoring program, and I got to help a fellow student learn their math facts, and I really liked helping children learn.
What are some of the things that your students learn in second grade?
Second grade, we do learn the core standards. We do the time, tell time, count money, reading, comprehension. But what I'm striving for is going beyond the core standards, is I want them to pick up life skills and remember how to do it, to treat each other with respect, to work as a team. All of the skills that you need after high school. And what was kind of funny is, because this question makes you stop and think as a classroom teacher, and I'm thinking, I wonder what the kids think that they're learning. And so we sat them down here on the carpet area, and at first they started doing exactly what I did, telling time, writing essays, reading, and then all of a sudden one goes, to respect one another, to work to our potential. And I'm like, yes, they get it. So that's what we're trying to learn in second grade, core standards, but also life skills.
What are some of the ways that you get your students excited and engaged with learning?
I think, first of all, it's my excitement. If they see, I started off with a lot of children who were not excited about reading. I'm like, oh my gosh, at first it's hard, let's get into this reading. We did read alouds. I said, this is my favorite book, and I read it with expression, and so we made that come alive. We've done costumes. We've done research. If I find out, like, Dr. Seuss was this month. Next month, I'm like, hey, boys and girls, they know all these file cabinets are filled with books. I go, which theme do you want to do? One of them said, I want to do dinosaurs. So next week, we're going to be reading our dinosaur books, and we're going to see where that fits in with our core standards and make them come alive. And it's just really getting the students' interest, finding their interest out, and making it work for both of us.
There are some lessons that you do with your students to get them excited about math and reading.
Math and reading. Math, I love math. And I think the best way to teach math is by them to relate it back to their life. They love science. Science is my weakness. So it's kind of fun. We have a little joke going between my students and I. They're supposed to help me learn to love science, and I will teach them how to learn math. And so anytime that we can correlate it, and we both get a win-win. Also with math, every day we play math games and stations, and it's just, I keep saying fun, but they're in it, and they're getting involved in it, and they're also seeing how it applies to their life. Seeing the child that came in as an emergent reader pick up a book for the first time. Seeing the child who is a little rough around the edges be nice to another student, hearing other children point out the improvements of others, seeing them work as a team where in the beginning they didn't come in as a team and as a family.
How do you get parents involved in your classroom or your children's learning?
Parent orientation. We first learn that we're all human, and that the parents were their first teachers. So I need them to tell me what's going on in their child's life. So their homework is geared towards the student's level, and they realize that what they're going to be signing up this year is to be reading with their child, And if they can't do it, or for some reason, I understand life. So just be honest with me, write in their planner, and I will do that. Also, I have an open door policy, which means if their dad gets off of work at 2:10 and he's surprised he gets off and he's driving by the school, if he's got 15 minutes to come in, I will just show up and I will get you working with the child. You can give your child a hug, and then I will always have kids you can read with them and spelling words. And then every holiday we have guest readers, and at Christmas time we do red and green breakfast with eggs, and I have all the parents come in and they sit family style with all the desks turned into tables. We have tablecloths, and then the parents come in and help with that.
What's a misconception about the teaching profession that you feel that the public holds that you wish you could clear?
That the day of the teacher sitting in rows and teaching one way and cleaning their manual is gone. Also, that teachers didn't become teachers because of their summers off and their weekends. 99% of teachers join this profession because they genuinely care about the children and they want to help them learn. And I think more parents need to come into the classroom and see what we're doing and be a team. We shouldn't be divided, teachers versus parents. It's united. If a child is struggling, teachers need to pick up the phone and don't blame the parents. Just sit there and go, okay, we need to sit down, we need to talk what's going on, because a lot of times, if it's not a team, we need to keep the same goal. So I'm thinking that many people think that teachers think that they know it all, and we don't. We need to listen to the parents, and we're on the same team.
We're here with Erin Butler. She teaches first grade here at Back Creek Valley Elementary. Hey Erin, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have now been teaching at Back Creek Valley. This is my 10th year. I did 1 year of pre-K right out of college, and then the rest of the time has been spent here. I am married with a little toddler, 3-year-old boy, Ashton, and we live about 3 minutes from my school, so
That's
I have the
nice.
perfect world, yeah. I'm a graduate of WVU, and I went through the Benedum Collaborative 5-year program, came out with my master's.
Well, what made you decide to become a teacher?
Well, my story is a little unique in that I was a biology major my first 2 years at Potomac State, and after those 2 years I felt like something was missing, or I felt like maybe my path was needed to change a little. So I applied for mentorship with AmeriCorps Energy Express, and I had an experience with Energy Express, which is through the WVU Extension Office, and I got to mentor some kids back home in my hometown of Mineral County. And the experience was, was so valuable in so many ways that I felt like maybe I should change my path of biology and go into education.
What do you feel is the greatest reward that comes from teaching?
The greatest reward I feel is just the ability to work with the kids and see where they come from and how far that they progress throughout the year, especially with first grade. There's so many skills that they come at the beginning of the year, and the progression of the year, you see so many, so many improvements in their academics and social as well.
What are some of the things that you do to get your students excited about learning?
We started this year, the first grade teacher and I collaborate. We've created what is called Wacky Wednesdays. And on Wacky Wednesdays, we've taken a math block and we've turned it into STEM activities. And STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And these activities every Wednesday, the kids get to, of course, create their own projects, and we test them using our mathematical skills and technology skills. And the kids love Wacky Wednesdays. I mean, that's what they ask for all day, is what time is Wacky Wednesday. So, for example, at Columbus, around the time of Columbus Day, we actually constructed ships, and they had to test them We brought in a great big pool of water, and they had to test them with weights to see how far they would travel, as well as how many weights they would sustain. So that was one example of Wacky Wednesdays, and the kids are getting ready to create butterfly habitats where they actually have to sustain life. They will have real butterfly caterpillars, and we will learn the process of the life cycle.
Tell me about a lesson or an activity that you've done with your students this year that they really enjoyed or really helped them understand a concept.
Well, in reading, we have been doing a lot of nonfiction work because of the Common Core and the standards that have shifted in first grade. And we've been doing some comparisons of nonfiction novels. And the kids actually got to create the person that they were reading about and act out their life and compare the two people that they were comparing to. And they really got excited about that just because I have a group that's very artistic, so they love that element of art and to create, be someone who they're not, got to dress up and act it out, and they really enjoyed that.
What's the most important thing that you want your students to walk away with after they've been in your classroom for the year?
Well, besides academics and all the standards that they have to, learn in first grade, I really want them to come away with a sense of citizenship. We do please and thank yous in this classroom, and we learn how to cooperate in groups, and we do a lot of small group learning, so I just really want them to learn how to communicate and to work through their problems.
What's one thing that you wish the public understood about education or the teaching profession?
Well, the teaching profession itself, I believe that people come, when they enter the teaching field, I think that they sometimes don't realize how much investment in learning you have to do. We as educators, even if we've been teaching 10 to 20 or 30 years, we're constantly learning new things. We still play that role of a student. And I think that's a really important thing to understand, that your commitment to be a teacher isn't that you finish school and you're a teacher from then on out. It's that you have to continue with the trainings and pursuing new classes and new ideas, because education is constantly changing.
That's all for this edition of Be the Difference West Virginia. Join me next time as we learn more about the teachers here in beautiful Berkeley County. Until then, I'm Erin reminding you to be different, but more importantly, be the difference. I'll see you soon.